Hi everybody. In this video we're going to go over the bridge, the chorus, and the interlude to Over the Mountain. Let's get started. The chorus is going to start, it's pretty straightforward. It's one chord per measure. It's only going to be two chords. The first chord is going to be your E power chord, which is going to be open E, and the second fret on your A string, which is going to be B. So you have E and B. Second chord is going to be your F sharp chord, which is going to be 2 and 4, which is going to give you F sharp and C sharp. This is going to go back and forth a few times. So the first measure is E, second measure is F sharp, third measure is back to E, fourth measure is going to be F sharp, but on beats 3 and 4, Randy sneaks in 2 extra notes. He's going to take the second fret of your A string, which is going to be B, and then he plays the first fret, which is going to be your A sharp, and then he goes back to the E chord, back to the F sharp chord, back to the E chord, back to the F sharp one more time. Now this one, again, on you're going to play for 3 beats, and it's going to go back into your intro, so the 4 and, just like the intro did. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and you go back into the actual intro. 4, you're going to continue that. At the end of this intro, which only does it 2 times, beats 3 and 4 are going to slide down to your F sharp and then your B power chords. Your F sharp power chord is going to be 2nd and 4th fret, which is going to give you F sharp and C sharp. B power chord, same thing, but on the A and D string. You're going to have the 2nd fret and the 4th fret, which is going to give you B and F sharp. Now, beat 1 of the next measure is actually the beginning of your bridge. Another really cool pattern that he comes into. He's going to slide all the way up to the C sharp chord, which is going to be 4 and 6. Now, I put my pinky on the 6th fret, also on the G string, which is going to give you C sharp, G sharp, and C sharp. Then he does this little open string pattern between the E and the B string. So it's going to be E, B, E. So here's what you have for the first measure. He slides down to the B chord. Same thing with the open strings. Back to the C sharp chord, and this one's got a little bit of a change. At the end of that measure, he's going to take the 4th fret G sharp on your low E string, open A string, and then back to the B power chord. And then the open strings for that are going to be actually in the next measure. So you have back to the C sharp, back to the B, back to the C sharp. Now at the end of this measure, he's going to grab the 2nd and 4th fret on the low E string, which is going to be your F sharp, G sharp, and then the A power chord, which is 0 and 2. So open A string, 2nd fret on the D string, which is going to give you A and E. And then he gets the 2 high strings, the E and the B, together. So here's what you have slow. I'll do the whole part slow. Next up is going to be the interlude, which may be one of the coolest little rhythm sections ever, in my opinion. It's going to start on the 6th fret of the A string, which is going to be your D sharp. Now, if you were playing a D sharp minor chord, he's taken this little shape that he's using here, but I change and use different fingers. So the 6th fret on the A string is where you're going to do the little triplet. Anyway, so the first one is going to be the 7th and 8th fret on your B and G string. The 7th fret is going to be your F sharp, and the 8th fret on the G string is going to be your D sharp. He's going to pull that off. See if look at how my first finger is barring across the 6th. When he plays this chord, he's coming back to the 6th fret on the G and the B string, which is going to give you your C sharp and your F. So you have pretty cool little pattern. Next one, all you're going to do is use your pinky. You're going to eliminate the middle finger. Use your pinky, and you're going to have 8 and 9, which is going to give you your D sharp and your G sharp. Same thing. It's going to pull off to that 6th fret. So here's what you have slow. And it ends with a great big G sharp chord, just like in the beginning of the song. That's the whole interlude. Here it is, nice and slow. So it's going to be 3, little hammer on, pull and hammer on, 3 again. And this time he kind of sneaks in 4. You can get away with 3 here as well. And back to the G sharp chord. Now, when you're listening to the recording of this, the main thing that you hear is you kind of hear the bass player, and it sounds like he's just doing 2 eighth notes. And Randy's, it's quick. And that completes the interlude. Next video, we'll do the solo. See you there.